Okay, everybody, we're going to get started in just a minute or two. Just waiting for the top of the hour. We're going to wait for people to come in. How's everyone doing? It's been a long day. Got people from all over, Seattle area, Houston, Texas, Virginia. Very nice. What have been your favorite sessions so far? What have you guys, anything really stand out? Nottingham, UK. Very nice. Kansas City, Orlando, Spain. I wish I was in Spain right now. I'm in Vermont where it's very cold, snowy. So have you guys seen any of the other sessions so far? San Francisco, New York. I'm from New York originally. Yeah, the ATS LinkedIn Recruiter. Great. Yeah, we've done a few of these summits. I think this is definitely the best one so far with the quality of the speakers that we have. Resume improvements with Bogdan. Great. So any career changers here? Minneapolis, Ireland. I've got Irish blood. So your favorites are all of them. That's good. Good to hear that. The LinkedIn session. Great. Well, I applaud all of you for attending these sessions because searching for a job is something, it's a skill that you can learn. And a very valuable one. Favorite session, Steve Dalton. Every session. Oh my God. I have another day tomorrow. Okay, we're at the top of the hour. My name is Rob Henderson. I'm a team member at JobScan, and in this session, Jane Jackson is going to walk you through a step-by-step process for navigating a career change. I just want to let you know that all the sessions today and tomorrow are being recorded, and what we're going to do is send you an email with all the links that you'll need to rewatch the sessions, so that should come in very handy. We're also offering a special 20% discount on JobScan Premium, and below you'll see a URL, and you can go there and sign up, and the discount is going to be just automatically applied. Okay, now I'd like to introduce our speaker for this session. Jane Jackson is a Sydney-based career coach, so it's very early in the morning where she is, early tomorrow. She is the author of the best-selling Navigating Career Crossroads. She's also a LinkedIn top voice and the host of Your Career podcast. Jane is the founder of the Career Success Program, which provides professional career support to help you take control of your career. She's also been featured on Sky News Business, Sunrise on Channel 7, and has been interviewed on ABC Radio, featured in the Sydney Morning Herald, Australian Financial Review, and HuffPost. So welcome, Jane, and I will hand it over to you.
Well, good morning, everybody. Actually, it's not good morning for those of you in the US. I know it's the end of the day, so some of you must be very exhausted by now if you've attended every session. For me, it's 9 in the morning in Sydney, Australia, so I'm bright and chirpy. So I hope that I'll have plenty of energy to be able to keep you all engaged during today's session, because it's all about you, what's most important to you in your career if you're thinking about making a career change, okay? And so I'm Jane Jackson, as Robert has mentioned. I'm author of Navigating Career Crossroads, and let's go straight into the presentation. Okay, so I'll just share my screen, and there we go. So you should be able to see that now. Let me just double check. And yes, I can see that you've got it. Okay, so welcome. How to make the right choice with career clarity. Now, before I begin, you know, what's been really interesting is that before COVID hit, you know, a number of years ago, and that really affected so many of us, most of my clients who were coming to me were looking for a promotion, or they wanted more money, or they wanted greater status. And there was, you know, different reasons for wanting to make a career change or advancing up the career ladder back in those days. However, during COVID, I noticed there was a massive shift with the people that I was working with, because they started to think about, what's this all about? What do I really want in my career? And I think it must have been because they had more time at home if they'd been stood down from their roles, and being out of that corporate environment for a length of time made them realize, there's more to life than just my career. But your career is a very big part of your life. And so what I found is, after COVID, and it's been a number of years now, people are coming to me and saying, I want greater meaning. What am I supposed to be when I grow up? And I want to have something more because I feel that something's missing. And I wonder if any of you have ever felt that everything's kind of okay, like job's okay, money's okay, everything's ticking along quite well, but there's something missing. Why aren't I 100% happy? It's usually because one of the things I'm going to discuss today is missing in your life or in your career. Okay, so let me go on to the next slide. Do you need career clarity? So if this is what you're thinking, you wonder, there must be more that I can be doing in my career. Or you want to make a change, but you don't know how, and you don't actually know what you really want, and you're worried that, there's a bit of organizational change happening. Is it going to affect me? It makes me feel a little bit anxious. Should I be looking for something else? I wonder if you felt that way, do feel free to share it in the comments, because the more I know about how you're feeling as well, the more I'd be able to assist you when we do our Q&A at the end. Now, this session is going to help you if you're navigating your career crossroads. That's the name of my book as well. I'm all about career change and creating the life and career that you desire. If you need more clarity to make the right career choices for you, not for what other people want for you, but for what you want yourself. And perhaps if you want to discover a greater sense of purpose in what you do. So if that's what you're thinking, then you're in the right place, okay? So today, what you're going to learn is, I'm going to cover how you can conduct a life inventory so that you can take a holistic approach to your career, because your career is really important to you, isn't it? However, it's only one aspect of your life, albeit a big aspect of your life, because you're there every day working, earning money because you need to pay your bills, but it's still one aspect of your life only. There are many other aspects that need to be in alignment to create that life that will make you truly happy. Also, what you'll learn is how you can identify your core values, what really drives you and pulls you in a certain direction for long-term job satisfaction, and what motivates and demotivates you in your career, because there can be lots of things that motivate you and lots of different things that demotivate you. And if you're aware of what they are, then you can make your informed career decisions. So I hope this is going to be valuable for you. What you're also going to learn is, if you're going to make a change and you're feeling a little bit stuck, how do you identify those skills that can be transferable? They're not always immediately obvious, but you have skills. If you've been working, or you've been volunteering, or you've been, studying and you're ready to launch into your career, or you're mid-career or late career and you're still thinking about making a change, there are a multitude of skills that you will have developed, hard skills and soft skills, that you might not realize are actually very transferable into a new direction. And you'll also find out what you need to consider in order to identify what your mission is in life and what sort of legacy you'd like to leave as a result of you being on this earth. Okay, we're here for a short period of time. Okay, it could be 60, 70, 80 or 90 years, but that goes by so fast, and it seems as though the older you get, the faster time goes by. So it would be lovely to be able to leave a lasting legacy too. So I have a mission. Okay, I'm on a mission to inspire you to take control of your career and create the life that you deserve by making professional careers guidance accessible and affordable to everyone. I've created lots of online courses, and I've got my book, of course, and a membership site, which is my career success program. And my book, Navigating Career Crossroads, was a finalist in the Australian Career Book Awards. It takes you through the A to Z of career transition, which is quite helpful. LinkedIn, I share a lot of advice and guidance on LinkedIn because it's my way of providing career advice, and it makes it accessible to anyone who's on LinkedIn as well. And my podcast, of course, Your Career Podcast with Jane Jackson, you can get lots of career advice and interviews with fascinating professionals who've made amazing career changes. Many of them are my former clients, and others are just inspiring professionals whom you probably will have heard of that I just reach out to and interview because I love to hear about the career journey. So that's enough about me. This is all about you. The session will take about 45 minutes. Please have your pen and paper or be ready to take notes. And if you want regular career tips, you can follow me on LinkedIn or on Instagram. It's at Jane Career Coach, and you'll be able to find me. Okay, so that's enough about me. At the end of this session, I'll give you the link so that you can download my goals calendar to keep you on track to reach your career goals as well. That'll be very helpful. So, what do you need for career clarity? Let's take a holistic approach. What we need to do is to take a life inventory, basically, to understand where you're at in each aspect of your life today. Okay, where are you today? How are you feeling? Your career is a big part of your life, but it's only one aspect. Now, after that, you need to also identify what you are tolerating in your life that's not acceptable. Many of us think, oh, it's okay, I can handle that, or I'll deal with that, but it's like an irritation. So we need to think about your tolerations and what your personal and career values. You need to know what really satisfies you in your career and what doesn't, the transferable skills, and then we will create a mission statement. All right, so you'll think about what it is that really matters to you and the whole purpose of your life and your career. So first of all, we need to take stock, your life inventory. We need to think about your career, your finances, your relationships, because they're a huge part of your life as well, the physical environment, your home environment and your work environment, and also your health, because without your health, your physical and mental health, you aren't able to be the best version of you. Would you agree? And so think about all of these. We're going to be covering each one of these aspects. So first of all, let's have a look. Your career. Take stock. Where are you at in your career today? I actually have a career clarity pack that provides you with all of the questions if you need to be guided. But let's talk about this now, and you can take notes. So in your career, ask yourself, is your work environment productive and inspiring? Do you look forward to going to work every day? Do you get along well with your clients and your colleagues and your manager? How do you feel about your work environment? Are you up to date with all your emails and calls, or are you behind and struggling? Are you finding that sometimes you're late to meetings or you're dreading meetings? You need to ask yourself each aspect of your career, what's working and what isn't. Okay, now all of you are different. There are different things that are important to you, but do ask yourself these questions. Do you feel passionate about what you do? Do you enjoy what you do? What is it that you don't enjoy? What is it that you do enjoy? Okay, do you understand what your options are within the workplace? Can you progress where you are now, or do you need to make a change to somewhere else, a different industry or a different organization in order to get to whichever area you want to focus on in your career moving forward? So there are lots of things to think about your career. So take stock, because once you do, you'll know where you stand today, and then you'll be able to identify, oh, these things are missing. What can I do in order to improve it? So then you can start to strategize. Yes. The next thing you need to think about are your finances. And oh my goodness, how important are your finances, right? So where are you today? Do you have enough savings to last you for, say, 3 to 6 months or more if there was organizational change and there's a redundancy or a layoff. That gives you a little bit of a sense of security if you know you've got enough. Are you saving 10% or more of your salary every month so that you can save for a rainy day? Do you understand, what it is that you're hoping for, any major investments that you want to make moving forward? So where are you at in your finances today? How much have you got? How much more do you need? How much of a budget do you need to stick to every day and every month when you're working? Because when you know where you stand with your finances, and if you think, okay, I'm actually tracking quite well, then you're going to feel more comfortable to decide whether it's okay for you to make a change and go into something that might not be that certain for you. It's interesting, isn't it? So the next thing you must think about are your relationships as well. We all need good relationships, and we need support of others in order to be able to give us, that Dutch courage or a little bit of strength and motivation to keep going if you're thinking about making a career change. So where are you at with your relationships now? Do you have good relationships with your parents or with your siblings? Do you have good relationships with your colleagues, or your manager or your subordinates if you're leading a team? Do you have any past hurts or upsets, or have you hurt someone in the past that is unresolved? Would you like to resolve it? Okay, so ask yourself, where do I stand in my relationships today? Do you have any grudges that you still hold? Because the relationship side of things, if there is something that's unresolved, it's a massive energy drainer. And when you are focused on those energy drainers, it's very hard for you to focus on your career. So take stock of where you're at with regard to your relationships too. And then your physical environment. At home, do you get enough light? Are you able to sleep comfortably? Is everything neat and tidy, or is it a big mess? Because if the environment that you come home to, or the environment in which you work, is not productive to your happiness, then you're going to find that's also an energy drainer, isn't it? I bet you haven't really thought about it this way with regard to career management, but if you take a holistic approach, you'll realize that everything comes together to create a satisfying or not so satisfying life and career. And then finally, your health. Have you had a full medical checkup in the past 2 to 3 years? Have you had an eye checkup? Have you been to the dentist? Do you get enough exercise? Is your nutrition helping you to be the best version of you? Because you need to be able to eat well, sleep well, have your full physical checkups as well, do a mental health checkup to see if you are the best version that you can be. Because if you're healthy, both in mind and body, then you're able to give your best self into your career or your job search. And honestly, it makes such a huge difference. At one stage, I became very, very ill a number of years ago, and I just couldn't focus because it was all consuming. And I changed my diet, I changed the way that I exercised, and I found that, I had a lot more energy. And now I find that as long as I look after my health, I have got so much energy to give to my clients as well. And it'll be the same for you too. So please take care of your health, take stock of your life, and know where you stand now and make it a work in progress to improve. Okay. Now, tolerations in your life. Are you putting up with stuff? And I'd like to know what it is that you might be putting up with. Okay. So are you putting up with bad behavior from others, thinking, I'm afraid to say something, and there's this colleague who's just so annoying and they keep sucking up my time, and I really am starting to get resentful? You need to document what you are tolerating. Are you tolerating things that don't work, situations or equipment that's a bit faulty? For example, a toleration is, imagine, say if you're walking down a corridor, yes, and you're going from point A to point B, and you walk down that corridor and there's a fluorescent light above and it works. All you do is you go from from A to B, and your energy is focused on where you're going. However, if that fluorescent light is about to blow and it's flickering, every time you walk down that corridor, it kind of bothers you, doesn't it? It distracts you, and you look up and you think, oh, that's annoying. You still get to where you want to go, but you were irritated on the way. It distracted you and took a bit of energy. Then on the way back from point B back to point A, that light's still flickering. You say, oh, that's annoying. And you tolerate it because you can't be bothered to fix it. But then after a number of times going back and forth feeling irritated, you think, why doesn't someone fix it? Well, no one's going to fix it except you. So you fix the light. There's no more flickering. When you go from A to B, there's no distraction. This is why it's important to know what your tolerations are, because once you know what they are, you decide, are you going to do something about it or not? Is there unfinished business that's just dragging you down? Do you have unmet needs that you are not expressing? And are there crossed boundaries at work or in your personal life that, again, you're tolerating and not taking control of? If you want to make a career change, you need to do your very best to take control of each aspect of your life. I wonder what you think about that. Okay, I wonder if this resonates with any of you. Are you tolerating anything? You don't have to tell me, but you can pop in the chat. Are you tolerating stuff? Okay, so now we've got that out of the way. When it comes to your career, let's think about your core values, because your values guide you throughout your lives. You need to identify what is most important so that you stay true to yourself, yes? And there are values that are very strong for you with regard to your career, and it could be affiliation or friendships. Perhaps it's promotion opportunities, advancement. Maybe for you a value is continually gaining knowledge. Maybe it's appreciation and recognition. Could be lots of different things. And what are your top values? What I'd like you to do is just make a note, is after this webinar, write down what are my top 5 driving values that are most important to me, because your values, they need to be met. Rank them in order of importance and then think to yourself, are these met in my work environment? If not, why not? Can something be done about it? Okay, now some of your values might not be met where you're working right now, but if you think, oh, I'm compromising a value, it could be recognition. Maybe that's really important to you, but you're not getting enough recognition for the good work that you're doing. Well, that means that's a value that's not met. What can I do? Let's strategize to overcome that. Perhaps you need to make an appointment to have a discussion with your manager and voice your concerns diplomatically. All right. But once you've identified what the values are, if they're your top 5 values, and we all have lots and lots of values, but the top 5, if they're not met, strategize how you can get them met. If you don't get recognition at work, well, do you get recognition in your personal life? Because if a core value is not met in your professional life, and it's met in your personal life, maybe that's okay. But if it's not met in either area of your life, then that's going to be a very dissatisfying life circumstance, yes? So acknowledge what your core values are. And when you know what they are, when you make a career change, ask yourself, will this change, will this new environment, will this new job enable me to fulfill more of my core values? If it does, then that's going to be a pull towards that direction. Okay, I don't want you to make a career change because you're running away from something. I want you to make a career change because there is something you truly desire and you know it's going to make you happier. So this is the way you can assess. Next are your work satisfiers. What are the elements of your job or any job that is satisfying to you, and why is that satisfying? You need to think about, okay, your job function. So first of all, your role itself. What do you like about it? Do you like it because there's challenge? Do you like it because you're always learning? Do you like it because it's easy and routine? You know, I mean, everyone has different desires and wants. Some people don't want excitement and variety. Other people want stability and predictability. So when it comes to your job function, what do you like about it? and why? Okay. What about the type of employment? Do you desire permanent full-time employment or part-time or contract? Would you rather be consulting? Do you want to have the freedom of freelancing? What type of employment appeals to you? Because what's right for you might not be right for someone else, but you know what is satisfying for you. Do you want flexible work arrangement? Do you want to be able to work from home sometimes or always in the office? There are a lot of things that are changing within organizations now with regard to the flexibility. How does that make you feel? Okay, so that's a discussion that needs to be had. What about the culture within your organization? Is it very inclusive? Does it make you feel comfortable or does it make you feel uncomfortable? Is it supportive? Is it fun and innovative? Are you surrounded by creatives or are you surrounded by those who are focused on research and development and making a positive impact in the world? There are so many different cultures that you'll experience within a work environment. Is it supportive? Do you have fun? To be honest, working every day in one particular role, if it's not fun, if it's not enjoyable, that's a huge energy drainer, isn't it? So think about the culture is very important because it determines your fit. Okay. Also, the team environment. Are the people around you nice? Do they celebrate a win with you or are they jealous when you do something really well? So think about how collaborative your team is as well. Lots of things to think about within when it comes to your job satisfiers, isn't it? And also, everyone is different. What are your personal preferences for the work environment? Okay, then preferred skills. You have skills. You have many skills. I know you do, but maybe you haven't identified them for a while. So think about it. Just take a step back. What skills are you very good at? Everyone has got skills. So just write down what you're good at. It might not necessarily be what you enjoy, but you're good at it. Okay. Then the next step is, of those skills that you're very good at, which ones do you love using? So what I'm looking for from you is high competence level and high enjoyment level, because that's your sweet spot. So if you're really good at something and you really love it, if you're making a career change, you'd like more of that, wouldn't you? But if you're very good at something, but you don't really enjoy using that particular skill and you keep doing it over and over again because it's part of your job and you must do it a lot, then you may be headed for burnout. So just because you're good at something doesn't mean it has to be part of your job function. It's what you can do. But if you're good at something and you love it, wouldn't you rather do more of that? It's important to know. So also identify, what skills do you have at the moment that you want to improve upon? Because you can start to set a plan when you know specifically what it is. So if there's a skill that you think, I actually love doing this, but I'm not as good as I would like to be, so my competence is not as high as it could be, then that might be a conversation you need to have with your current manager. Is there a way that I can improve upon this skill? Can I put my hand up for a special assignment where I'll get more experience? Or should I take more study in order to improve upon that skill as well? And then finally, what are the new skills that you would like to learn? Maybe there's something that you've really hankered after, you really want, but you've never had the time, or really you never even thought about it, and you think, I'd like to learn that. Well, professionally, of course, very important. If there's a skill that you want to learn, and everything's changing so rapidly within careers at the moment, especially with the advent of AI, that's making a lot of people feel a bit jittery about their jobs themselves. Maybe it's time to really improve upon your abilities in that area. All right. So identify the new skills that you'd like to learn, and maybe in the new job direction or career direction that you're going to go into, it might give you the opportunity to develop those skills. Gives you a good reason to ask specific questions during job interviews as well. And then finally, what about your mission statement and ultimately your legacy? Do you know what your mission is? I'd love to know if anybody has a mission in life that you've already thought about? Because I mean, I have a mission. My mission is to make careers guidance accessible and affordable to everybody who needs it. And it's really driven me because it's made me write my book. It took me over a year to write the book, Navigating Career Crossroads. And that means it's accessible to all. The Kindle version doesn't cost very much. The paperback version doesn't cost very much. So it's affordable. So it's accessible and affordable. So I can tick, that's one thing off my bucket list, and it fulfills my mission. Affordable and accessible, in fact, free and accessible is the podcast. That's why I podcast so enthusiastically, because it fulfills my mission. When you know what your mission is, it will drive you to do more to fulfill it. Okay, so what your mission does is it addresses that fundamental question: why are we here? What is our purpose? And so I don't know if you've thought about that. It's like, what on earth am I doing? Okay, who am I? Who was the person that I was born to be? Who is the person that you were born to be? I wonder. I have some fabulous discussions with my clients about the meaning of life and what's important to them before we actually launch into writing your resume or crafting your LinkedIn profile or writing your professional summary. Because until you've got that clarity of who you are, it's very hard to create authentic marketing communications such as resumes and LinkedIn profiles, etc. Okay, so why are you here? What do you want? What do you hope to achieve? And ultimately, what is the legacy that you'd like to leave? What would you like to be remembered for? What do you want people to say about you when you're not in the room? In fact, do you know what people say about you when you're not in the room? Is your perception of yourself actually what other people see as well? It's interesting, isn't it? Because if you're very self-aware, then you'll know about the impact that you're actually making on others when they meet you. So your legacy, let's think about it. It's built over time. So if you're very early on in your career, you've got time to start to build this legacy. If you're in mid or late career, then think about, what is it that you've done so far? Okay, but your legacy, it's built over time through consistent, intentional actions that need to be aligned with your core values as well. And it's the consistency that really makes a difference, because so many people in their careers, when they're going through something or they're making a change, they try this, they try that, and they think, oh, that's not working, I'm going to make a change. And if you're not consistent and persistent because of your desire to reach that specific goal, you're going to give up. Yes, so think about ultimately what you want to achieve, because then you can reverse engineer your career as well. And what you want is to engage in a process that will create a vision so that you've got it in your mind. Maybe you'll create a mind map, or you can paint an image of what that ultimate legacy will be, and then you can start to take steps towards making it a reality. There is a step-by-step process you can take. Okay, so my mission and my legacy, okay, my mission to make careers guidance accessible and affordable to all who need it. When you've identified your mission, write it down. Have it on a big piece of paper, in your home office or above your bed or on your fridge or whatever it is, to remind you of your mission, because that helps you to stay true when it comes to decision making. When you know what your mission is, any decision that you make, you can say, oh, is that going to help me to fulfill my true mission and direction, or is it going to take me away from it? And that helps you to make the right choices for yourself moving forward in your career. And the legacy that I want to leave, and you can think about this is, what is it that you want to leave as I read this out to you, is I imagine a world where every person will have clarity of purpose and the power to create the life and career that they deserve. Okay, to enjoy learning, continually learning, contributing, and to be recognized for their value. That's what I imagine for all of you. And I wonder, isn't that what you want for yourself as well? To be able to learn, to contribute, and to have someone say, thank you for your contribution. That was a great job. Because it's so satisfying when someone sees you and recognizes you for who you truly are. Yes? I wonder if there are any questions. I'll have to have a look and see, but I'll finish my presentation and then we'll have some Q&A. So I have this Career Clarity Pack, which provides you with templates and exercises to help you gain clarity of purpose in your career. And within my Career Success Program, you get access to this and all of my online courses: how to ace a job interview, LinkedIn for career success, personal branding for career to success, how to write a resume, how to manage stress, your career development journey. I have so many online courses in the Career Success Program, plus lots of webinars and webinar recordings, and also fortnightly, every 2 weeks, I'm live on Zoom answering questions from members of the Career Success Program as well. So you get regular accountability calls to keep you on track. And so if you're feeling a little bit like this, like, oh, I'm a bit lost and I don't know what I want in my career, what can I possibly do? And you'd rather feel like this, a bit more excited, yes, confident, clear, and excited about your career, because I honestly believe that this is what most people want, is to feel confident in their careers, really clear about their direction and excited about the next step, looking forward to the future and how you can develop your career and develop your life and create that life that will make you feel really satisfied. Then maybe you might like to join my Career Success Program, because that's where I am helping every member through that process. You get 24/7 access, you get on-demand access via my app as well, and it's just a very, very low monthly subscription. You get 6 of my online career development courses, 45 career transition and career development webinars, including branding, LinkedIn, job interviews, and 25 job search, resume, cover letter, and marketing templates. And I'm always adding more as well. And a community where you can share and network with each other and give each other referrals. It's really quite wonderful. And the accountability career coaching calls every fortnight. In fact, I've got one on tonight in Sydney for members, are wonderful because everyone supports each other and I provide career advice. And should you need one-on-one career coaching as a member, you get 30% off my coaching calls. And if you're interested, you can join today. And if you mention Job Scan Summit, I'll post you a copy of my book via email, so it'll get to you quickly if you're not in Australia, for the first 5 people who join today. I don't know if you'll be interested or not. If you are, all you need to do is to go to thecareersacademy.online/career-success-program. Okay, so it's thecareersacademy.online/career-success-program, if that's of interest. And you can just explore. You can go there and explore and test it out and see if it's what you like or not. Okay, and thank you so much for joining me today. I'd like to give you my goals calendar, which you can download and print out. It's got a goals calendar for the entire year, how to create your SMART goals to keep you on track. Remember, they need to be specific, measurable, actionable, relatable, and time-bound in order to stick. And in order to make them stick, I have a weekly tasks template for you to fill out and keep you on track for your career as well. And so in order to download that, just go to thecareersacademy.online/goals-calendar, and you can download that now and start to plan your career moving forward. Okay, so thecareersacademy.online/goals calendar, and I hope that will keep you on track. I'd love to know where you're at in your career and how you're tracking over time as well. So follow me on LinkedIn, and you can always send me a message. Yes, so thank you so much. It was my pleasure to deliver this to you. And if there are any questions, I'll just have a look and I'll just stop sharing and see if there are any questions at all. Okay. So thank you, everybody. I wonder, how do you feel? Let me have a look and see if there are any questions. I wonder if there are any. Wonderful. Thank you, Laurie, for my voice. Sometimes I think my voice puts people to sleep. I really wonder. Okay, so Rosanna, you're having difficulty with your job search as well. Okay. So Sophie, what if I can't find a workplace that meets your satisfiers? There will be. Have you done much research so far? Because it's important to look for. Well, first of all, you know what your dream environment will be. You will have identified, it's going to be X number of miles from your work, or whether it's flexible, or whatever your true satisfiers are. And then you need to do some research. So have you spoken to people in different organizations? Have you looked on sites such as glassdoor.com, where Glassdoor is a little bit like TripAdvisor. When you're going on a trip and people review hotels and restaurants and things like that, Glassdoor reviews companies. So you might be able to find what the company's culture is like, but there's nothing better than talking to someone. So identify the industries that you might be interested in, and then identify specific companies. Once you've done that, then look for people who work in those companies, do it on LinkedIn, and do an outreach and ask, would you mind, having a quick chat with me, or can we have an email correspondence to let me know what the environment is like in this organization? That will help you. Barbara, how do you recommend identifying the best transferable skills to your transferable skills to your new position, like you are a call center rep looking to be a data analyst? Okay, so first of all, if you're looking to transfer into a data analyst, what you can do is look up data analyst roles. Honestly, I'll direct you to LinkedIn, because LinkedIn's a great place for research as well. Of course, you can Google it. But say if you go to LinkedIn and you type in the search data analyst, you type in data analyst, then have a look at what people are doing. They'll have their job title, and they should, if they've got a good LinkedIn profile, talk about what their responsibilities are. Okay, and then have a look at what their career paths have been. So do a little bit of stalking. All right, then go to the jobs tab on LinkedIn and have a look at job descriptions where it says data analyst, and look through all of those skills that they're looking for, so that you know what they want for that role. Then have a look at your role as a call center rep. So with a call center rep, obviously you need to be very organized. You probably take notes about the calls as well, and you need to log those in. And so you've got certain skills, and you've obviously got good communication skills because you're in a call center as well. But transferring into becoming a data analyst, that you need less of the verbal communication skills on a day-to-day basis. You need to have those analytical skills. What have you done in your call center role that has required analysis? And it could be that you need to compile evaluation forms and think about what the trends are there. So see if there is any sort of marriage there between what you've done before and what you want to do next. But look at the job descriptions, identify the skills they're looking for, and see the soft skills as well as the hard skills. You've probably got a lot of transferable soft skills. Okay. Kaya, how would you deal with an extended career gap? Okay, what did you do during that career gap? Because you wouldn't have been just sitting in front of the telly watching Netflix all the time. At least I hope you haven't been, but there must have been something. It could have been because you were a caregiver. It could be because you took parental leave. Maybe you decided to take a sabbatical and travel the world. There are multiple reasons for the career gap. So you'll notice that there's no stigma to taking a career gap. Okay, because people do, and especially after COVID, because so many people took a career gap that LinkedIn even changed. When you look in the professional experience section, there is a field where you can add career gap, and it asks you what those career gaps are. Was it, because of a redundancy? Maybe it's just career break, and you can put career break as a gap as well. But the important thing is in order to deal with it, you need to be able to talk about what did you do during that career break. If it was your choice and you decided, okay, I've been working for many years, I decided to take a step back and travel the world or learn a new skill, then talk about what it is that you did during that break. Because even if you were just doing voluntary work, for example, there would have been skills that you were using at the time. Rosie, navigating the career crossroads, so to speak, how to start applying for, reaching out, and how to position yourself in a new industry. Okay, well, before you do anything, assess yourself. Who are you? What do you want? What have you got to offer? Okay, so what do you enjoy doing? What are you very good at doing? Okay, and so once you know who you are, then I would start with networking, talking to the people that you already know and say, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, and I'm thinking about making a change into this area. The reason is, and let's know what the reason is, and only you know, Rosie, why you want to make that change and why that direction is of interest to you. And you can, when you're talking to this particular person, you say, I think, from looking at your LinkedIn profile, or, from what I know of you, you've got experience in that direction. Can you give me a little bit of advice and guidance as to how could I approach transitioning into this area from what you know about me, and get some advice and guidance from as many people who are in the direction you want to target as possible. Okay. Shushan, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Will your program be useful for someone that switched job market versus career path? I moved from another country to the US, and it's a very unique situation in many ways for careers. Yes, it did. I mean, there's a cultural difference from wherever you have moved from as well. And depending on what skills and experience and qualifications you've got, you need to know the best way to apply for roles within the US. Yeah, so you're in the US now, because it might be a little bit different from the way that you used to do things in your home country. I'm from Hong Kong, and I've lived and worked in San Francisco and then London, and then I moved to Singapore for many years. Then I moved to Sydney, then I moved back to Singapore, and now I'm in Sydney now, and I've been here for the past 15 years. And with every change, I've noticed that there's a different way of applying for roles. And so you need to know the best practice for the area where you're in as to how to apply for roles. But the most important and the most honestly effective way to look for a job is through the network. So I would recommend, if you're in the US and you're new, is to expand your network within the industry that you have experience in, so that you know more people on the ground in America that you can speak with and let them get to know exactly who you are. But before you do anything, you need to have a pitch. You need to be able to express yourself well. And so say if someone was to say, okay, so hello, nice to meet you, who are you? I'll go, I'm Jane Jackson, I'm a career management coach, and I specialize in career transition coaching. Basically, what that means is I work with mid-career changes through the emotional roller coaster of redundancy or career change. So I have a little pitch. You need to have a pitch too, so that if someone says, how can I help you, whether it's a recruiter or a networking contact, you are able to express who you are and what you're looking for, so that they can help you as well. I hope that helps, Shushan. And hello, Robert. Good to see you back.
So we are out of time. Jane, thank you very much. That was a wonderful presentation. Everybody seemed to really enjoy it. And I just want to remind everybody that if you missed the session, all these are being recorded, and we'll send you an email with the links to it so you can watch them again at your leisure. Once again, we are offering 20% off on JobScan Premium. There's a URL below, and if you go there, the discount will be applied once you sign up automatically. Okay, so that is the end of today. And I just want to remind you that we have another full day tomorrow, day 2. There's lots more to come. Our lineup of speakers, we'll talk about LinkedIn networking, how to handle a layoff, dealing with tough interview moments. And I'm also going to be giving a presentation tomorrow about job search hacks. So have a great night, everybody, and a great morning to you, Jane. And we'll see you all tomorrow.
Thank you. And if anybody needs any help, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn.